Our next speaker is Natalie Gesler. Now, Natalie is a driven business owner who has been self-employed for over 20 years. She's launched and grown multiple businesses across finance, property development and real estate, including a successful finance company that she later sold. Today, she leads At Real Estate, a high-performing agency based on the Capricorn Coast, known for its strong results, standout branding and client-focused service. Natalie brings a deep understanding of business growth, team leadership and trusting your instincts, and isn't afraid to back herself when it matters most. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Natalie Gesler, who has brought her own support club by the sounds of it.
I really loved listening to Trent so much. That was awesome. Thank you. I got a lot out of it, and it was funny, we were talking about some of the same things you had mentioned, so that was awesome. I think when you're getting into business, sometimes it's a bit like getting on a roller coaster. You don't know what you're in for. There's lots of sharp turns and twists and ups and downs, and it can be very thrilling. And what do we do in that situation? We jump in, we strap in, we take a deep breath and we go, stuff it, we're going to do it anyway, even though we don't always know exactly what lies ahead. And I think sometimes as adults we get a bit mixed up between feeling nervous and excitement. And often I think we're actually really excited when sometimes we might seem a bit nervous. And being in business is so much like all of that. One of the biggest lessons we've learnt in business is definitely to back yourself. You've got to it doesn't matter what you're doing, you've got to go both feet in and just jump in and back yourself, yeah? So if you're starting a new business, like Troy and I, when we've started both of our businesses, they were our main income sources. We burned the boats and went all in. I do have notes also because we've got to talk for a while. Okay, so we've all doubt ourselves sometimes, don't we? Have you ever thought to yourself, is this actually going to work? Yeah, I have, many times. We all do that, don't we? So once again, you just got to take a deep breath and back yourself. My notes are a bit out of order, sorry. So I'm a big believer, a bit like Trent said, in building the capacity to do where you want to go. So if you are wanting to increase your volume or increase your increase your volume, increase your revenue and your profit, you really need to have the capacity to take on those new clients and to look after them. You can't have this big grand plan and want to do more numbers if you don't have the team and the systems, processes and everything in place already. So we're always a big believer in trying to have maybe even an extra team member on our team, just so that we've got the built-in capacity to go where we're wanting to go. Does that make sense? This is many years ago in a previous business. Troy reminded me of this the other day when we were talking, and it's so meaningful. So many years ago when we had See Me for Loans, we'd been going maybe 5 or 6 years, and we had this opportunity to buy a franchise in a related industry. And it seemed like a pretty good deal, and they were really pushing us for it, but we weren't. Anyway, for a hot minute, we thought about it. So when we were talking about it, we actually said to ourselves, well, what would happen if we, instead of buying that, put that money back in to See Me for Loans? And that's what we did. We upgraded our office enormously. It was amazing. We put on an extra team member, and we also upgraded our marketing. And that really did obviously give us more capacity and more revenue, more income, more profit. It was really worth doing. And that was a really great moment and lesson for us moving forward. And it's a bit like, the saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you've got. Tori's good at that. She's got a good job. But she always dresses really well. So I think it's a bit like that in business. You've got to be prepared for the job you want, not the job you've got, if that makes sense. And along the same lines, another See Me for Loans story, many years ago, when not long after we first started, we hadn't been going all that long, I actually decided to go and upgrade my wardrobe. And I spent more money than I'd ever spent on clothes, and we were in Toowoomba, I bought these beautiful Q suits, and I had different colours, and they were my uniform. And you know what happened? I got better clients. It was amazing. So it's such a great, like, you've got to be prepared for that next step and always build that capacity, whether it's what you're wearing or upgrading your office or your team, training your team. The people you work with are everything. I literally love our team. Every single person on there, they are just amazing people, and they, like, I want to go to work in a fun workplace and somewhere that's really nice to work and where I feel supported, and I have that. Our team is amazing. Oh, hold on, my notes have got short. Give me a minute. Okay, so when we talking about building capacity, when we started at real estate, would you believe 9 years ago now, of course it was scary, and we went really all in on that one after learning that lesson previously with our previous business. So we actually invested hundreds of thousands in starting, and we knew that we actually weren't going to draw a wage from that business for a couple of years. We did that, we took that big leap of faith and really backed ourselves because we wanted to start at a certain size. We wanted to have that capacity to grow and be where we wanted to be straight up, which was not something everyone feels comfortable doing, but you have to back yourself. It works every time. I often get asked how Troy and I work together, or what it's like to work with loved ones. We actually love working together. Well, I love working with Troy. I won't speak for him. We've been together for nearly 30 years, and we've been working together for around 20 years. And we never fight about work, ever. I don't think we've ever had like an argument about work, ever. We have got a sort of a way we do it, which does work really well. So we have very defined roles. So I take care of sales and marketing, Troy takes care of property management and finances. Yes, sometimes there's a little bit of an overlap, say if we're selling a rental property or if I want extra money for marketing. But generally speaking, we just stay in our own lanes, and we really trust the other person so much. We trust them more than most people probably trust each other. We trust them that they are going to make the right decision. We trust that they're in alignment with where we're going and that they're working hard and they know what they're doing. We never undermine each other. We never question each other. We might throw ideas around together. We might remind each other of something, or, but we very much trust that the other person is doing their job. And so I actually have a similar relationship with Sarah, my co-agent. So Sarah and I work together as a team, and it's very similar how we divvy work up. So I deal with sellers, she deals with buyers. Yeah, there's a crossover. I talk to buyers, of course. She talks to sellers, of course. But we know who's doing what, and we really trust each other that the other one's doing their job. And it works really well. So that's my advice for working with loved ones. I have seen people do it other ways, and I've seen it not work. Oh my goodness. So the other big lesson I've learning, I haven't nailed this yet because it's a really big one, is that your energy is everything. And have you ever, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever woken up in the morning and kind of had to throw yourself out of bed? And then you might be really motivated, you might be excited about the day, you might be pumped for what you've got going on, but you just really don't have the energy to do all the things you want to do for the day. Have you ever felt like that? I call it hulking. You know, when you get out of bed and you're like, "Grr." Yeah, have you done that? Trying to get on with the day? Well, I spent probably a decade doing that, honestly, a really long time, where I was really driven and motivated, but I just wasn't, I didn't have the energy I needed to do all the things I wanted to do. And it's really draining, actually, and it drains you even more doing that. And so over the last few years, I've really been working at getting my energy back and getting into alignment. And your energy is so important, because your energy is what your clients buy, and it is what your team follow. Energy is everything. And honestly, our business has changed so much by managing our energy better. It's not the easiest thing to do, though. Like I said, I'm still working on it. But I'm really excited to tell you that I put on a lot of weight in that time and things. Well, it's very slowly coming off. But I actually I was thinking this morning, I was letterbox dropping, and I was thinking, I feel better now than I did when I was 30. And actually, I'm fitter now than I was when I was 30. And I definitely just have more energy and of course more wisdom. But managing your energy is everything. And so how I changed it was I knew something had to change, and I'd always done a lot of professional development, but I decided to do some more personal development. I found some online training that resonated with me. I got a business coach. I started taking better care of myself. I stopped working till midnight like every night, and I still do that once in a blue moon if I have to. But I started going to bed maybe 9:30 at night, drinking lots of water, fueling my body better. This has been over years, like a journey of getting better and better at it. Just being more mindful. But we have, with the energy we've got, we have been able to create something really special. I don't know how many of you know our team, but they have a very unique energy about them. We are not like other real estate agents. We are very energetic, very grounded, very centered, very aligned. Everyone's actually genuinely wanting to help their clients. And it's just a really lovely vibe in our office. We hype each other up. Tori must have told me I look good about 6 times already today. Like, that is so lovely though, isn't it? Like, Tori's the best at hyping people up. But that's what our whole team is like. We hype each other up all the time. And it's just such an amazing vibe. But your energy is everything. Obviously your vibe attracts your tribe. So, and when you're confident, so I think confidence is really important as well. And when you're confident, people will follow and they'll confidently follow you, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So a really good example of this is many years ago, we had a table Capricorn Coast business community networking event, and it was at the sailing club. And the sailing club had suggested we go sailing. Sounded great. We were really excited about it. We turned up. Hey, good crowd. We had a really great attendance to that event. There might have been 40 people turn up. No one was dressed for sailing. And there was a reason. Cyclone Oswald was coming at us and the ocean was wild and everyone was scared. No one wanted to go sailing. So I was like, all right. I went down to the sailing coordinator and said, oh, no one's going sailing, sorry. And he's like, we are going sailing. I've got the boats out. We're ready. I'm like, people don't think it's safe. And he's like, it is. No one's going to drown. No one's going out of a boat. You're going to get wet. It was February. It didn't matter that we're getting wet. But no one is going to fall out of a boat. I was like, all right. I run back up, tell the whole group, all right, we're going. No one's going. I really tried to talk them into it. Eventually talked, I don't know, I'm sure you all know Cam Schroeder. He's great at networking. I eventually talked Cam Schroeder into jumping into a little boat with me. And we go down, and I don't know if you all know Conrad, the sailing coordinator at the sailing club. Amazing young man. He was so confident, he made me feel confident. He talked about the next step every step of the way and made me feel confident, who'd never been sailing before. And we went sailing in the middle of a cyclone. And he, every step of the way, just told us what we had to do next, and it instilled so much confidence in me and in Cam, because Cam was actually a bit nervous too. We came back and everyone kind of gave us this big round of applause when we got back because we survived. But that was such a good lesson for me in confidence, because if Conrad hadn't have been so confident, I would have been so scared. So people really follow your confidence. If you're confident, they will follow you with confidence as well. What else did I want to say? Oh, just super important to be proactive. Everything we do is proactive. And I always remember hearing this saying that juggling is about throwing, not catching. And I think that's so important. And that's exactly what happens with being proactive. If you're proactive about keeping your clients up to date, then they're not chasing you down for information when you're eating your dinner, for example. Or with another client, because they already know what's going on and what to expect. And we always talk about the next step as part of that as well. So in closing, I think sometimes we do just need to go stuff it and do it anyway. When you're in business, sometimes we do lots of research and you might do cash flow projections and business plans. And if you get 90% sure, but you're not quite 100% sure things are going to work out. You've just got to kind of trust your gut. I think your intuition is your lifetime of experience put together and coming together to tell you what to do. You got to just trust your gut and go with it. But I would suggest, instead of getting on the roller coaster and being thrown around everywhere, get in the driver's seat of a nice car that you like and take control over your future and enjoy the journey so much more. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.